Welcome to the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast, where hosts Dan and Angie talk with creatives, small business owners, charities, and all kinds of interesting people. It's all real talk. It's all fine and dangy.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 118 of the new and improved It's All Fine and Dangy podcast.
I like how you said that, new and improved.
Yeah. Today, we are sitting with, I think, the first guest that will have been on the show 3 times now. Is that right?
Yes. Well, Billy was on the first time. We'll intro
that's
in
right.
just a minute. But
well, the brand, I guess.
Oh,
I'm
the
saying.
brand. Yes,
Yeah.
the brand.
Yes, KitchenKillaz. Yes,
Yeah, so
we are.
I'm going to call this episode The Revenge of the KitchenKillaz.
Dun dun dun.
I guess it should have been.
With rum.
It should have been.
Oh, yes.
It should have been the KitchenKillaz Strike Back, maybe. But,
Dun dun
but
dun.
anyway, so welcome back, guys. It's so cool to have you back on the show again.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man.
And
Always a pleasure to be here, Dan.
in the new studio. So
Beautiful.
We're in like the movie theater
love
sort
it.
of living room vibe, right?
I love these chairs. The Commodore said that earlier.
I love the chairs.
Do you?
Yeah, they're
Thank you.
fantastic.
The chairs. The mic,
I keep
it
wanting to
doesn't
touch
matter.
them.
Chairs, good.
Did you see we got the matching ceiling fan up there even?
They feel
No.
so smooth.
All I see is the
Just
chair,
the
Dan.
chair. That's all you can see.
it.
He's impressed enough with the chairs
Thank you.
that we've done
Thank
it.
you.
I just
These
like
are
touching them.
They're
Custom
very
ordered
soft.
from
made it.
from Walmart.
Oh, Walmart.
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 That's what I should have
Walmart.
You messed that one up. It's like Target.
Oh,
you gotta
no.
like
Walmart.
missed opportunity. So before
Like
we
these
get
chairs.
too far
What did
into
you put
things-
in my drink? This chair feels fantastic.
Listen, okay, and we're enjoying drinks. So we got
Billy's-
this really cool little machine called a Bartesian.
they're gonna have to sponsor us. or
I'm
something.
telling
Fantastic.
you, and it makes like over 100 different mixed drinks, and we have about like 20 different choices.
Little
right
mix
now.
capsules?
Yes, little
Yes.
mixed
So
capsules. We're building our stock.
I am drinking a
But we're
Sazerac.
enjoying a drink.
We've got a couple of rum runners. And
Yeah.
what do you got? A margarita over there, Jeff?
Margarita.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Margarita.
I remember you guys said earlier you're trying not to turn into alcoholics.
Yes, we're
Well,
trying. We're trying.
We're not going to get our sponsor if you keep saying that.
Trying not to. Well, it's all about moderation. So if you become
Yeah.
an alcoholic, then you have to stop drinking altogether. But if
that's
you can
true.
moderate properly, then you're a reoccurring
have
customer.
to.
That's very
That's
true.
true.
Moderation is really the key here.
It's a short-term customer, I guess. If you're all in on being an alky, you're not going
Exactly.
to last too long.
The
right?
Bartesian is a fantastic solution for managing your moderation.
Ooh,
I'm telling you.
There's a
commercial
catchphrase
right there. Bam.
You're welcome.
Well, before we get into
He's
things,
going to get us sponsored. See,
I know.
this kind of stuff.
so before we get into everything and catch up with you guys, just if you don't mind, because you do a much better description than we do of telling people what you do.
No.
Tell people what you do.
We have an elevator cat. Now we have an elevator pitch.
Oh, do you?
We were always asked in the very beginning, like, how do you guys describe it? And we try to describe it. We try to make it as simple as possible.
I play guitar.
People really overcome. I drive a forklift. I play guitar.
I book the guest. That's what I do.
So people are like, okay, so what is it? And I said, man, we really have to come up with a catchphrase.
Like
So
11 seconds.
yeah, exactly. Like, so normally in the very beginning of the show, it's like, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. My name is Billy Floyd, and that is
The Commodore.
And we are the KitchenKillaz, classified as a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We do it every Friday, and we do it
For free.
That's it. And welcome to Thursday night on the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast. My name is Billy Floyd, and that is
The Commodore.
And we can say fuck.
No.
Did it.
To be
broken
clear,
the
that's
ice.
not part of the pitch.
That's not.
We added flavor for this for you guys.
It's the rum.
For you guys.
Very
We did.
nice.
So as you guys have heard from a show that we've recorded and released already, we have changed it up a bit. So yes,
I like
we are
it.
not PG rated anymore.
I like it. I'm proud of you guys.
It fits
Thank you,
us
thank you.
more.
It
This is a
much more
natural,
fitting.
and
It's
this is a
natural.
natural evolutionary stage for you.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is.
And it's a much more natural state
Yeah.
for us because,
I think we feel more
I
comfortable.
can go into a
Yeah.
professional business meeting and be professional, but
Yeah.
in my regular life, I curse. And so it feels it doesn't feel loose at all. It
It's
feels
not
like
like
a
every
job
other
interview.
word or anything, but if it
Yeah,
comes
I think
out,
you're
I don't
gonna-
want to feel like, oh my gosh.
I think
what
you're
did I
going to
say?
draw more sponsors this way
offended?
because you're real.
Being real.
Yeah.
because you're being real.
Authenticity.
Yes, and we
Yeah.
were honest.
Authenticity.
I mean, that we were big about being honest.
Well, like off the mic, when you're comfortable with somebody,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if you feel like they kind of, say
Sure.
something, then you're like, oh, okay, I'm okay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But-
and I never like hit it, like if it came out, and then they were like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, I'm okay.
because-
I'm like, all right, good.
Because we also feel like we've always felt like it's very important to be honest, and
Sure.
integrity is
Mm-hmm.
a huge thing to me and to Angie. But that part of it, even when we were talking about it the other night, it was like, it just feels like we're not being 100% honest.
You're not being yourselves.
It's like we got a suit and tie on for this thing.
Yeah, you're kind of putting on a personality.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
You're kind of dimming it down a little bit just to make sure that you can appeal to the younger masses.
Or everyone, to some of the charities. And then I think, a lot of the people I know that run these charities are very much like me and Angie.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they have Bartesians at their house
That's
too.
right.
They probably do.
It could be the whiskey
And
talking.
if they
Sazerac,
don't,
but I
they should
love-
have one.
Oh yeah, everybody should have a Bartesian.
It might be the
best
whiskey
thing.
talking, but I love whiskey.
I think it's the fancy ice cube that really put me over the
Thank
top
you.
there, Dan. Listen, everybody, if you have an opportunity to come here and sit on their show, ask for the fancy ice cubes.
That's it.
They have circles.
That's
and
the
By the way,
Drives.
this drink isn't going to last me the entire show.
All right. Well, we can reload you if we need to.
from the
You
Bartesian.
do have to work early, though. Just remember.
So Billy and the Commodore have given a really cool introduction to what they do. I'm gonna have a less cool version of it, but essentially what you guys do is you come to people's kitchens in their house.
That's right.
You play music and entertain.
That's
and
right.
You bring a chef that cooks dinner. Do you still do that?
Sometimes. So normally we get invited into somebody's kitchen, and every Friday night at 9:05 we stream live to Facebook, and
Yes.
we feature music, a combination of covers and originals, and we feature some type of food.
Yeah.
Now the food can really come from anywhere. We've had it catered before. We've had the hosts cook before. If the hosts don't want to cook and they want to entertain, then we have a nice collection of incredible creators. The main one being Dennis Cutter, the mad scientist from Maryland. So he will come with us. He'll create appetizers, entrees, desserts, and cocktails, all based on dietary restrictions or likes and dislikes of the family and the host. How many people are going to be there? So
And then
when
he themes it also.
he'll
the whole
theme
thing.
he'll theme the food and the menu to
That's
the names
awesome.
of the songs.
Oh wow! Now that is cool.
Like we had a drift slide collide cake, and we had a cherry cola collider, and we had like he would take and create all these things. And a lot of the times
That is great.
when he's doing this, he's never done it before.
I didn't
Like,
realize he did that.
He'll try a brand new recipe, something he's never cooked before, and he'll try it. And we really like that because we experiment a lot in real time.
Yeah.
So we for a 9:05 show, we get to the house about 8:00. We say our highs and hellos. It only takes about 10 minutes to set up. We speak with the host. We go through the songs that we're going to play, how we're going to introduce the food, how many different courses they have. But the host's real responsibility is just to have a good time and create an environment that we can then go and entertain.
Yeah.
It's very, very easy, and we don't charge anything for it. We accept tips, of course, and we have merchandise that we sell. That's a beautiful shirt, Dan.
Thank you.
But a lot of times the host wants to cook. They want to feature a family recipe or something they're excited to cook. Sometimes it's last minute, and we have to make Taco Bell sound like the most gourmet tacos in the whole world because it's about showmanship.
Yes, of course.
And we
Of
don't
course.
lie. We say this is Taco Bell, but it would be like, like the target. We kind of fancy it up a little bit. We've done it with pizza. We've done it with whatever. But
Charcuterie boards.
Every ingredient is fascinating. Like the cheese.
Look at this.
This must be a blend of just
this is
so many
incredible.
cheeses.
This is Italian.
Look at the way it's
This is straight from Italy.
Can I say one of the? So you guys, you're super talented musicians, no doubt, and you're going to play a couple songs for us, I hope. But one thing I noticed right away when we've seen you guys do your thing in kitchens is you're wildly entertaining, even outside of the songs. And that is a huge piece of what you do. Like when you guys came and did the KitchenKillaz thing at our house, we'd already known you for a while by then. But even the guests that we had, some of them were somewhat apprehensive.
Raymond.
Calling
Calling you out, Raymond.
Like Raymond he's not one for like just, he's a pretty hardcore guy. And after you guys left, they were like, "Oh, they were fucking awesome. That was amazing."
Yeah, Billy got some smiles out of him.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
And we've like
I like to mess
the
with
great
Raymond.
Commodore and I have been we've been in the music industry, and he's a trained musician from a very, very young age, and I'm more in the entertainment industry, and he's more in like the understanding and concept and theory of music. So when we bring that together, it really gives a happy balance. And one of my pet
Technical
peeves,
stuff.
one of my pet peeves every time I go to see a live show is the band will be like, "Here's song number 1, blah 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 blah, blah." At the end of the song, "Thanks guys, we're so and so. Here's song number 2, blah 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 blah." There's no banter. There's no inclusion. There's no address. There's no bringing people together. There's no laughs. There's nothing. And as a solo musician, I was for a really long time. I had to find out how to fill those silent moments.
Yeah.
And the way to do
It's
that
so
was to engage
awkward.
with people directly.
The silence is so awkward.
Absolutely.
And then it's like, what's he
So
doing
I find
now?
the one person in the crowd that is kind of drifting a little bit, and I connect with that person.
Yeah.
You know, and then if I can connect with them, I bring them back in. So it's almost like if I see you trailing off a little bit, I'll do my best to kind of bring you back in so we can bring everybody together.
Yeah.
Can I say another thing you guys do that I love is when we saw you at an event where for a while there, as the crowd was sort of walking by and the people that weren't paying attention, I love it. You guys will be in a song and then you'll be singing and you'll be the lady in the pink shirt that's walking by and they don't even know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's spectacular.
That's all him. Man. I just try to play along.
Or Half Naked Guy. That was actually a great episode that you did on your streaming show.
Yeah.
Where somebody wandered into the kitchen
With no
behind
shirt
you
on.
that didn't know you were recording in the kitchen with no shirt.
I think he knew we were recording.
He might have known, but we're going to go with the idea that he didn't know.
He did not. He looked pretty clueless about it, but that was good acting, I guess.
He did look clueless.
Maybe he just didn't think he was in the frame or something.
Yeah, there's sometimes where we really, especially live, and that's my favorite part about being live. Like I've always loved theater. I've been involved in theater in a really long
nice.
time.
I do
There's,
too.
there's
I
no
love it.
second takes. You have to roll with it. Whatever happens, you got to go with it. And that's one of my favorite things about streaming live is the fact that it doesn't matter what happens on the show. We got to make it work.
Yeah.
We got to flow it right in. We got to roll it right in. We got to either give it attention or we have to take attention away from it if we feel like it's ultimately going to pull away from the natural energy and progression of the show.
Sure.
Now there are some things that I like about live, and there's some things that I don't like about live.
Yeah.
What don't you like?
The rolling with it, the in between songs.
Okay.
The in between, like the keeping the ball rolling, keeping it up,
Keeping
in the air,
everybody
keeping
interested and-
which he's fantastic at.
You
So
guys
I just
play off
got
each
I
other.
just try to keep up, right?
Yeah.
But during the songs, I love that you can't focus on a mistake. You can't even register. You just got to keep playing.
Plow through.
Like, and I love that because it just you don't focus on the mistakes. You just have fun and you enjoy the song.
And it probably
and
challenges you a little bit too, because you're like, oh, wait, well, okay, I'll just
Absolutely.
keep going, and
it does
really
and
does
it doesn't.
anybody even notice except for you, right? Like the audience is probably like, oh, that's a little different than
I'd
it
say
normally
probably
does.
80 to 90% of people listening have no idea when a mistake
When
is
you
made.
made a mistake.
They just
Unless you're
don't
looking
know.
at my face.
But I was going to say,
Now I'm gonna watch it. So now
Yeah,
let me
you can give it away. You can give it away with body
something
actions.
happened right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
so as Jay, as Billy was saying, you're the trained musician and all. That's probably part of what bugs you about it, that it's not technically correct. And I played drums for many years in bands, and I remember we would be out live, and there's drinking involved sometimes with some of the band members, and you could tell we'd looking at each other, and you're like, oh shit, we missed the turn,
We missed a change, or we missed this, or
so
how do we get back into this again?
Sort of a big ridiculous drum roll. How are we gonna get?
When I was very, very young, like I started singing when when I could talk. Like both of my parents sang, my sister sang. Like I was raised around music.
That's
like
awesome.
My mom, every time a song came on the radio, my mom was always harmonizing, whether there was a harmony or not. So like I just
Learned
that's
pitch
That's
and-
just normal to me, right?
Yeah.
But my first huge thrust into instruments was marching band, and marching band is very, very
Like
structured,
military.
Very technical,
like
yeah.
it's very precise.
Yeah.
Is the word I'm looking for. So that was my introduction into playing an instrument, especially with other people.
Yeah.
Because everyone had to be in their spot. Everybody had to be, at this volume. Everyone had to come in at the same exact time.
Yeah,
It was
or it
very
just sounded
precise.
so muddy if they didn't.
Mistakes are very, very easy to
Noticeable
hear
in
in that.
Yeah.
Like a marching
Yeah.
band.
Yeah, but the more people that you get, if you have one person off and it's 20 people hitting the same drum at the same time, it's going to sound a little bit off. And if you have 2 people off or 3 people off, it just exponentially gets worse and
Oh,
worse
I
and
bet.
worse.
Yeah.
So like I would imagine the time and precision has to be perfect. And I remember him telling me several stories of practicing the drums and just hearing the click just extremely loud, pow, 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 and everybody having to stay on top of it. And you could just
Did you
get
do
ingrained in your
You were
head.
drumline, or what did you
No,
play?
I played trumpet.
Oh, trumpet.
Yeah.
But
I
just
played-
being on the beat.
Yeah, just having to be on the beat,
Yeah.
not being able to miss anything, just listening to that metronome, because if one person's off, the whole thing kind of falls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh yeah, and it can happen with a 3-piece band, a 4-piece band, even just the 2 of us playing together. Like anytime we're at the home studio, we play to a click. Which I really like, and it helps us kind of understand that when we're not in the studio, we can still kind of hear the click in our heads because we played the song to the click so many
I
times.
will tell you, as a drummer, there were many times. I was very much younger during these days, but there were times where if it's a song I loved, I would feel like, oh, I think I might be going too fast.
I'm rushing it a little bit.
You know what I mean? Or if you get too excited.
You get excited,
or,
sure.
You know, and once that happens and it gets in your head and then the guitarist looks at you, he might be looking at you like, oh, this is amazing. And you're like, oh, God, now I'm definitely going too fast.
Yeah.
So I know what you're saying. If you could just stay on a perfect rhythm like that,
right.
Then you're sold.
It not only keeps us together and going at the same tempo, but like from verse to chorus, we could both at the same time naturally be playing slower during the verse and then speed up during the chorus, just because that's how the song feels.
Yeah.
But playing to that click every single time just gets it beat into our head.
Like
so
a program
it
for it.
programs.
Yeah, and it helps moderate the time of the show.
Sure.
You know? So if you play every song faster than you're supposed to be playing the song, and you have a 45-minute set and you have 8 songs to play, and you played 8 songs way faster than you should, and it's only 34 minutes in, you're like, now we have 11 minutes.
Now what do we do?
Like,
look
shit,
at
what do we do? You know,
a lot of
Call
times.
that lady out in the yellow shirt.
Yeah.
Call her out.
Every show is different, so like it can be low energy at some shows, and some like there's just partying going on, everybody's vibing, and everybody's laughing, have a great time. That's where it's easy to just let it get away from you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's also part of the value in being so good at the entertainment part, because I don't know if you guys do that on a time. Like, you can't tell if you do, because when you're just sort of bullshitting with the crowd and I don't know if you go, okay, you know what, I have to be done doing this by this time. Get back in. Oh, good.
Absolutely
It feels
not.
very natural.
No. So, sometimes it's a I played in a band called Smile and McGee a couple of years ago, actually quite some time ago, and I left it up to the drummer Alan to get us into the next song, because like I need to make sure that my guys are ready to go. And if I intro a song but my guitarist is tuning, my bassist is at his rig, my drummer is tightening his hi-hats, like I can't do that because
flip
they're
out
not
on you.
ready.
Yeah.
So what I would normally do is I would fill the space, and then Alan would tap his hi-hat or he'd tap his snare, give me a little tiny bloop as a signal that now he's ready to go.
Yeah.
So then what I could do is I can wind down that thought and intro the song and come right into it. So there was a lot of nonverbal communication that was happening, because as the lead singer, you can't see your drummer.
Yeah,
you know,
it has
so
to be, really.
and he can see the whole field. So he kind of has the bird's eye view on what's going on.
Yeah.
So normally we do something very similar. Like I'll just be kind of vibing and doing my thing while he's tuning, and then he'll come back in, he'll give me a strum, and I'll know he's ready to go. So I'm cool. Let's wind it down, and we'll bring it into the next song.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It takes a long time to learn how to do that
but
naturally.
It's very seamless, because we didn't even notice that's what you were doing. We just thought,
I mean, we've been doing that. We're coming up to August 13th is our 4-year anniversary, and we've played every Monday, Wednesday, Friday without missing one.
Oh, you guys are chronic.
And on top of that, we have festivals that we've played, private events that we've played.
Yeah,
I was just going to ask about that.
Yeah,
like
so
what type
so
of things
going along with the outside the kitchens.
Yeah, outside of the kitchens.
Yeah, I mean, one of the first shows we ever actually found ourselves on is Billy Floyd and the Commodore. We weren't even KitchenKillaz yet, and there was 11 bands, and in front of us were 5 4- to 5-piece metal bands, and on the back side of us, after us, were another 5 4- to 5-piece metal hard rock bands. So in the middle is me and the Commodore singing "You Are My Everything." Was it a dream? You know, and so like we weren't necessarily sure how this was even going to go. Like
nervous.
we had gotten it booked, and we're like, okay, man, like they're either going to love us because we're we're a kind of like a break from the heaviness, or they're going to throw stuff at us.
Now hold on, back it up a minute. Was this like a festival somewhere?
This was
just a lineup.
Yeah, it was a lineup. It was
like in a bar or an all-day concert?
It was 11 bands at a place called The Venue, which has now been deconstructed on Virginia Drive near Lake Eola.
Like an all-day show kind of thing?
Kind of. You know, and every band had like maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes. It was just a showcase. It was a showcase.
Okay.
So we didn't really know how we were going to be taken, because all these hard rock bands were getting up, and then at the time the Commodore had long hair almost down to his shoulders.
Okay,
if you
so
can't
they
believe
thought,
it.
yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, so we get there, and it's just the two of us with these 2 guitars, and we had a little combo amp that I had rented from like Sam Asher Guitar Center or something like that. So we started into it, and at the end of our set, everybody really loved it. They were singing along. They were having a really good time. And I was like, okay, great. We got out of this. We're not dead. Fantastic. So the next band's loading up, and we're just standing in the crowd, and the promoter comes up. He's like, hey, man, can I talk to you guys for a second? I'm like, here we go.
Don't you ever come back here again,
We're about
boy.
to find out if we helped out or if we didn't help out.
Yeah.
And he goes, man, I got to tell you, you guys killed it.
Oh, I love it.
You guys killed it. We
What
were
a
like,
nice, refreshing
thank you
thing
so
to
much.
hear,
He goes,
yeah.
it was so refreshing for everybody. He goes, because all they heard was hard rock, hard rock, hard rock. Then you guys came in, you had people laughing and singing along. You were playing easygoing music and we just dug it, man. It was a nice break for people to just chill. And then as soon as that was over, you gave them enough time to relax. And then we came back in with the heavy music. It was absolutely perfect. He goes, it was going to
That's
go one way or the other. You guys were going to fuck up our whole night, or you were going to bring these two sets together, and you guys brought everybody together.
That's
Oh, how
amazing.
great is that?
So it's like we find ourselves on some big stages. You know, we
Yeah.
played Smoke on the Water, which is a huge a barbecue festival in Polk
yes.
County.
Yeah.
Yes.
We played Orlando Food and Wine Festival in February of 2020, which again, that's a massive stage.
That's
I mean,
huge,
you're hitting
yeah.
blocks and blocks and blocks. It was
Wow.
incredible. And it's just the great Commodore and I. And that's why we both really lean on the conversation and banter in between songs, because that's what really brings people together. Like the song is one thing, people can kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But when you have the opportunity to speak to people individually and bring them in, then they feel like they're part of the show.
Sure.
And then their family stays with them, their friends stay with them, and,
And
other
they're more
people.
engaged
You're not
after
just
that.
you're not just two guys on stage or like passing music or
Right.
they're walking by and they hear some like, oh, that sounds good, but then
Yeah.
then he starts he and I say
Yeah.
he starts engaging. He'll pick somebody out of the crowd and it's not even that person all the time that knows that he's talking to them. It's the 7 people around him
Around.
that were kind of
Pointing
paying
at him
attention.
like,
Wait, but who's he talking to? And they're looking around and they find the person that he's talking to, and now they're all in it.
Yeah.
And they're just watching this one person, and the one person turns around like, what's going on? Like,
They're
watch
like,
the show.
you know, he's
Yeah.
talking to you, right? They're like, what?
No, well, that's how it was at
and
the
they
thing
feel
we
like
saw
they're
you
part.
at.
Yeah, and it's,
Yeah.
it's like they feel like they're part of the show. They're
Yeah.
part of it
And
up on
they become
stage.
part of the show.
Yeah.
You know, and
Because
that's-
it's not mean spirited. That's what I
No.
love about
Right.
it. Is it's fun spirited.
Yeah, we have a good time. You know, we're not hurting anybody's
Yeah.
feelings. You know, sometimes it's just to see who's paying attention.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, and that's some of my favorite times is like when you have somebody that's not paying attention standing next to somebody that is paying attention. I'll sing to you that I'm getting ready to sing to him. You know, and
Yeah.
you'll be like, and I'll be like. And then I'll start singing to him, and you're just like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" He's tugging on his shirt, like, "Hey, what are you doing? Get off your phone! This guy's singing about
Yeah,
you!"
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
what?
I
What's
love it.
going on?
Yeah, because I think me and Dan are the same way. When we do go to something and there is somebody up on stage playing, even if it's not our type of music, we're one to respect the artist up on the stage.
Anything,
And
man.
be like,
Anything. A play.
It takes courage.
Yeah.
It takes courage to get up there.
Plus,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sign of respect if nothing else.
Sure,
You know?
Yeah.
absolutely.
But just for a minute to back up, so your private show, so people can book you to just come to their house and do a
Sure.
show.
Yeah. We've done commercial kitchens before. We've done distilleries before. We've done mostly private kitchens. You know, but a lot of the times when we go to a private kitchen and there's 20 to 30 people there, those other people, they all have kitchens, and some of them are in the culinary arts. They're in the professional arts where they
Yeah.
say, "Man, I have a restaurant. I'd really like to have you guys come out and do a showcase at our
Sure.
restaurant." So we were at Tornatore's just a couple weeks ago.
One of our favorites.
You know, we went there and it was
We
a
had that
Friday
for dinner
night.
tonight, by the
we
way.
had that for
so
dinner
good.
tonight.
So we went there and we had been trying to book that for about a year and a half, but everything just got kind of crazy, and then
Yeah,
people
with
had to get
COVID.
pushed back, and
Yeah.
everything just got nuts. But Denny's fantastic, you know.
isn't he?
So we put that all together and we went out and we did a full feature there. Entree the Giant, Jason Wolf was there himself,
Yes.
which was great. Denny was
Yeah.
there.
Best name ever, by the way.
I know, it's super, super cool. So like we find ourselves in commercial kitchens and individual kitchens, but yeah, really just sending us an email or even booking us at a kitchen. We get a lot of kitchens from kitchens.
So what's
Of
the
course,
difference
yeah.
between you doing the KitchenKillaz thing in someone's kitchen, entertaining for free, bringing your chef, and a private party that I want at my house?
Yeah, so if we did, for example, like a private party on average is about 2 to 4 hours is normally what'll happen.
Okay.
You know, people will book us for a couple hours. So,
Yeah.
you know, we'll play 45 minutes or we'll play a full hour. We'll take 15 and we'll mingle and we'll talk and we'll get some ideas from other people. We'll go back and play another 45.
Yep.
It's it's almost exactly the same aside from the fact that we're not in a kitchen and we may not be featuring food.
Yeah.
You know, so, and normally with a private event, we're not streaming it live. It's not a public event, it's a private event.
I get
Yeah.
it. Okay, so it's all about the party.
It's all about
there.
the party.
I got
Yeah,
you.
it's about engaging with the party. It's about engaging with the host and the people there, because that's two things that people will remember from every engagement is that's the food and the music. They
Yeah.
will always remember this.
Yes.
Undoubtedly.
If you go to any wedding, if you go to any party, that's what they're going to talk about, the food and the music.
Yeah.
So
Always.
if we can create a healthy if we can maintain a healthy atmosphere by one that's already created by the hosts, it's much easier. You know, we found ourselves in some tough spots, some tough kitchens where the crowd was not that easy to get along with.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, where you can walk in, you could feel the tension in the house as soon as you walk in.
That
Yikes.
energy, buddy.
And there's some that we walk in and we're like, tonight's going to be a good night. There's some that we walk
Yeah.
in and we're like, ooh, man,
going to be.
This is going to be.
Sure
This is going
we
to be
don't
an.
have an emergency.
Yeah,
that
this
we
is going to be an
leave?
arduous one.
No,
This is gonna be tough.
not like it's an aggressive nature, but just like nobody cares that we're here kind
Yeah,
of thing. Like,
They're
Sure.
like,
nobody-
my friends
like,
invited me to this thing, and I don't
like,
really want to be
I'm here because I have to be kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to vibe well.
But do you feel though that after a little bit, do they start warming up? Do you start seeing?
What we experience is kind of
them
what we
engaging a
experienced
little
here.
more?
In the very beginning, some people are very confused. They don't understand what's happening. And a lot of people really overcomplicate the whole thing. It really is just the great Commodore and I standing in your kitchen playing music. That's what we're doing. And we're talking about food. That's it. So people really overcomplicate it big time, especially when we talk about that we stream live. How long is it going to take you guys to set up? Do you bring a producer? How many lights do you have? How many speakers do you have? What kind of microphones? What kind of cabling? I'm like, we use a tripod in my phone?
Yeah.
That's it.
We're done. It takes it takes
Yeah.
us 5 minutes
Yeah.
to set everything up, you know?
Yeah.
So when
And
people
it's not
finally
like the
see what's
camera
going
is
on.
in your face, like the audience face
No,
the
not
whole
at all.
time. Neither.
No,
it's
no,
what
no.
my friend Raymond was. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on the
And we
thing.
try to find a really cool
down.
view that shows a great part of the kitchen and leaves openness for travel. And
Yeah.
of course, we like to bring people up on camera. So, to have Dan come up and speak about the show, or have you come up and speak about the food,
the
Yeah.
charcuterie
the charcuterie board.
Right.
charcuterie.
The charcuterie ball
Get it right.
from Target. So to have people come up and do that is kind of like the simplicity behind it. It's just very easygoing. It's a super, super mellow night. And that's kind of what we want. Like, we just want people to take it easy and have a good time. It's
Yeah.
about disconnecting from all the stress that you experience in your daily life. Leave the religion aside. Leave the politics aside. Leave the differences aside. Leave the arguments
Just
aside.
like the show.
Yeah.
Let's just come together over food and music. And that's it. And let's have a great time. You can go back to your stress as soon as the show's over. Trust me, it's waiting for you.
I think that's why Angie asked if you people warm up, because Raymond's probably a good example. If you had a room full of Raymonds, and we
Yeah.
love Raymond if you're watching, but
Usually it takes a couple songs. For somebody
Yeah.
like Raymond who
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily know what's happening.
His wife just said, "Hey, we're going to this thing."
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Usually
Rochelle's like, "We're going."
It
You
takes a
can see
in
song
his
or two.
face, he's like, "What the hell is? I'm not staying in here for this." And then he loved it,
Yeah, and usually it takes a second or two. Number one, there's a lot of I don't want to say this the wrong way. There's a lot of quote unquote musicians out there, acoustic musicians. Oh, great, a guy with a guitar, fantastic.
Another
Thinks
one.
he can sing.
Like every bar.
Play half of a song that you don't effing know around a fire that you never wanted to be at for people that don't want you there. Great, fantastic. So ultimately, we kind of go in, and a lot of people have a predisposed idea of what
Yeah.
we're going to do, and they're like, "Oh, great, here we go," And it usually takes us about a song. Like, we'll do our intro, and people are like, "Okay, cool," energy's a little high. Oh, they played a song. I don't recognize the song, but it actually wasn't that bad. Cool. Oh, they're laying it out for us. They're going to be talking about food. Oh, they played a cover. I really like that cover. Man, these guys don't suck.
And we designed the set list to get that effect. Also,
Oh yeah, it's all designed by that.
there's
It's all by design.
There's a huge strategy to the songs we play and the order we play them, because we know a lot of times how people are going to react, and a lot of times it's either confusion or just this predisposed
Yeah.
idea of
Yeah.
what they're going to hear. So we give them, we react.
There is a lot of psychology that goes into each individual show, and
Yeah.
even sometimes like we'll adjust the set in real time depending on the energy of the crowd, or we'll adjust the set when we get there because we can kind of sense what's going on, or we'll have people come up and they say, "Man, we really love your originals," so it's like, cool, let's make this original heavy, or if it's a bunch of people that we've never met before and they may not be really into original music, it's like, cool, let's lean a little more toward the covers.
Yeah.
And we have the ability to do that because it's just the two of us.
Yeah.
I was going to ask how
Easy
much
to pivot.
you guys kind of have to pivot in the middle, even like where you start seeing, okay, yeah, they're not digging this, and then
We don't let it get to that point.
you don't. Okay.
So no, we try not to let it get to they're not digging this,
Okay.
So usually we can sense the energy before the next song is coming up. Like, we can tell where we need to take it. Do we need to
Okay.
bring it up a little bit? Can we mellow it out? Where do we need to go with this? Because we
Yeah.
don't want them to get to we're not digging this.
Yeah.
So usually right when it gets to the precipice of that, we can kind of sense it and we can kind of gauge that and we can swap it up real quick.
And I'm sure you guys have like your eye contact that you make, like
Little ticks.
We're pretty
yeah.
open with each other, like right on the show. I'll lean over to the Commodore and be like, "Hey man, can we switch it up for this?" It feels like it needs to be a
Yeah.
little more up tempo. He's like, "Yeah, let's do this song." Like, great, because he's already in tune for something specific, and he can pull from an arsenal of other songs that are in that same tuning. So we don't have to take that additional time and retune and burn more time. We can just move on to
Yeah.
the next song, reset the energy, and then we're good to go.
that's awesome.
And you guys have got this down to a science for sure.
It's been 4 years.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that doesn't sound that long for you guys to have such a handle on so many different aspects of it. And I can't say enough good things about, because I'm kind of a critic for this kind of stuff, to be honest.
Well, we were just talking pre-recording that you can't find any music that you really like right now.
Not even
as far as
that.
your genre that you normally
True.
listen to.
I did say that, but not even that, but just like when we first met you, I was like, this is interesting, but it's kind of weird. But meeting you and seeing you guys perform, especially, you're super talented at the music and you're super talented at engaging and entertaining the crowd, no matter what the crowd's tastes are. And that's the trick, because you might groove with a certain kind of personality,
right?
But when you're a performer, you're going to go to places where this is a person that has a totally different set of tastes and beliefs than this other person. And that's why I keep referring to Raymond, because when you gain apprehension I was immediately sold, but as a critic, I was immediately sold. But when you get apprehension or pushback from someone, you guys just sort of gel right in and roll with it. And it's friendly and fun and inclusive, and it's great.
Yeah, and you just can't stop, and I think that's the part that people run into is entertainers, is they get to the point where it's like, if nobody's paying attention, it doesn't matter. Just keep on going.
Yeah.
Keep on pushing it forward. Keep that same energy, because once you drop your energy, everybody feels it.
Oh, yeah.
Once you lose your momentum and you're like, man, nobody's listening to me, everybody feels that.
It's like a play, right? Because in the middle of a play, you power through. If everyone leaves, but if you're acting to the chairs, and I used to be in bands, I played the drums to some empty places sometimes, so I hear what you're saying.
Nothing but the other bands.
The show goes on. It must go on.
And you have to play in front of one person. You're like you're playing in front of 1,000.
Exactly.
So
another part of it is any moment of silence, or any part where we're like, we don't know what to say, or we don't know what to do, or like there's just uncertainty there. Immediately, people lose interest.
Drift.
Immediately.
They're gone.
Immediately. Within seconds. Yeah. So that's why it's always about keeping the ball up and keeping it going. And it's been really interesting. I think one of my favorite things about this entire journey is watching him develop his online personality.
Yeah.
It's been incredible. From the very first time we went live,
what did you used to do?
He had just a few words.
Just stand there.
He had a few words. The Commodore.
Yeah.
And that was really it.
I mean, I still don't say much, but
you do. It's hard because Billy is wordy like me, but I know what you're saying, and you're fast talker too. You remind me of a little bit in interviews of Steven Tyler. If you ever seen him in an interview, it's talking and rhyming.
I saw him on Joe Rogan, actually.
It's almost like the whole conversation was...
It's a performance.
It's almost like the whole conversation was planned, but it's not. It's just that's the way the stream of consciousness works. So I get what you're saying, but and that may be why, though, because as you said, that moment of silence... you've learned not to give a moment of silence.
And I realize if you give people things to think about that they're confused about, you can buy a couple moments of silence, but they're busy in their minds.
Yeah.
So if you say something a little off kilter and one person got the joke, but the other people are like, what? I'm missing. Hold on a second.
They're still there. Billy already took off.
You buy a little moment, and in that moment of confusion, you can insert programming. Yeah. In that moment of, I don't know what I'm thinking, you can kind of like inspire them to think about something.
No, it's like that half a second flash of popcorn at the movie theater, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just that moment right there. So it's engaging when we're able to, and a lot of times that's why we try to tell jokes really quick, or we talk really quick, or we ding on a subject really quick, or we'll point over here and point over there really quick. And by the time,
the hand gesture.
Yeah, by the time people catch up to what's going on, we're tuned into the next song.
Right. And that's the entertainment though. It's the quick-witted, fast-paced, hang on tight.
We come up with new websites almost every show. We come up with brand new websites. We come up with new stuff. We want to see, number one, who's paying attention, and the people that are paying attention, when they laugh, those are the people we lean on, because laughter is infectious.
Of course.
It's absolutely contagious. And sometimes when somebody's laughing and another person doesn't know why, now they want to know why.
Yeah.
So they're like, now they're inquisitive.
Now they'll be paying attention.
Now they're going to be paying attention.
So
exactly.
they can laugh too.
And during a live show, it's like a movie. You can't go, hey, what's so funny? Instead, you start paying attention to whatever was so funny to get the next thing so you don't miss out.
Oh, yeah. I love giving stuff away. So, like, pretty much during a lot of the shows, especially to get people in the very beginning, I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to our hosts, Dan and Angie, tonight. They are in the process of moving, so please take anything with you when you leave.
I love it.
I give a fake address. We're at 671 Erlenmeyer Drive, Orlando, Florida, 32810. Come on by, kick in the door, take their couch. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's got to go.
But it's different every time. That's what I love about it, too.
I always give a fake address, thankfully.
Yeah.
The .coms are always made up. Now, a couple of them have been purchased. Yeah. So Mingle with Mullis is a real website now. Clark's Cornbread. Clark's Cornbread is a real website now.
We should have bought Angie's charcuterie that night.
Well, nobody spells Angie like I do, so
That's
we
true.
probably still could.
Oh,
I
that's true.
can almost
But then
guarantee
people
it.
are going to call me asking me to make charcuterie.
And the funny thing is,
nobody
it's
says charcuterie.
for
like
the
Angie
clarity,
either.
it's
Yeah.
charcuterie.
Yeah.
No.
She didn't want to say it that way, so
No.
I've been going into every
I
restaurant
never
going,
say it that way.
do you guys have charcuterie appliances or charcuterie boards or
They're like,
charcuterie meat? And they're like, this dude's from a Popka.
First of all, you're still not even saying
That guy's
right.
definitely from a Popka.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
There's an SH.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
It sounds so much fancier.
Meat and cheese boards. Can you tell us a little bit about your album?
Yeah, we can tell you a lot about the album.
Tell us a lot about it then.
Yeah, man. I'll let the Commodore take this one.
We recorded some music and we put it on the album. I don't know what we do there.
So
Now,
is
where
it,
do you guys record it? It's a Castle Rock that you do your
Castle
recording.
Door.
Castle Door
Castle
Studio.
Door.
is it all your originals?
Castle Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
We did 5 originals. We picked the originals. We tried to do like a little upbeat one. We did a ballad. We did a fast one. We did a nice. We actually did a couple additions to what we normally play live. We added a couple extra little parts, little touch of music in there. So
like different tracks. So you recorded
some,
together.
some layered harmony,
cool.
some additional guitar work in the background, just because it's still just the two of us. Like it's not a full band album.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just the great Commodore and I, because we wanted to really give everybody a very clean, produced version of what we do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Of course.
And a lot of people have been asking for it. They're like, man, I tried to record your songs on the show. I tried to do this. They're so peaceful. I love to listen to them. I listen to the show sometimes, and people have told us, we'll put your show on and just like ease into the night. And we'll just listen to it in the background. But do you guys have an album? Do you guys have an album? And the way that I've always felt about that is like, we can make our own album to, stroke our own egos. But when there's a demand for it, that's when I
Yeah.
really feel as a musician,
right.
we've earned the right to record an album.
Yes.
Like that is an echelon. And now it's so easy now
Really
to
uses
just
big words that I don't know what they mean. So what the heck is an echelon? Like, please define if you're going to use fancy words.
different group of
This is-
people.
I know.
At the bottom of the screen, if you're watching the YouTube video, you'll notice the definition of echelon just popped up right here.
What the heck is an echelon? It sounds
So it was so I felt like we needed to earn the right to record an album. And now, granted, we can go into a studio and we can record an album, make 1,000 copies, be like, yeah, we have a record, yay us, and 1,000 copies can collect dust.
Yeah.
That's what it could do.
Sure.
But I really wanted there to be a demand for it.
Yeah.
Not only because it's a huge financial undertaking,
Sure.
but because there is a demand. We're not making it just to make ourselves feel good.
Yeah.
Although it does feel wonderful to have an album, it feels great to hold one. It
Yeah.
feels great to say, man, look what I've created, to look back on it 5, 10, 15 years in the future.
As an author,
and
I
say,
can relate. I can have a book for myself.
You can hold this book,
Yeah.
and say, wow, this is really great. I published a book. But when you have demand for it, your
Yes.
friends and family saying, Dan, when are you going to
it.
put out another
Yeah.
book? Billy and the Commodore, when are you guys going to put out another album? We really want to hear some new music. We love your show, but we want something we can hold, something we can download and share
Yeah.
with our friends.
Of course.
So that really pushed us to get this taken care of. So we figured, let's put out 5 acoustic songs and let's see if people enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then let's see if they sell. And so far, it's been really great. We've been selling them pretty quick on an almost daily basis.
I
we
love it.
get orders and we get streams. A lot of the streams, because they're on all the platforms,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple, Amazon, Spotify, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So we bought a limited amount of physical albums just because that kind of time is coming and going.
Yeah.
Some people still want something tangible. They want to hold it in their
Yeah.
hand. We've had a couple people say it's literally in my CD player 24/7 in my truck.
They have other
I
people
just
that
listen
say,
to
"What's a
it."
CD player?"
And then have other people say, what's your truck? What year was your truck made?
And that
you
would
have
be
a what?
That's me. Like I want like a signed album.
Sure.
To have as like a souvenir. I know these people.
I am
And
so
some people,
guilty.
some people just want a way
But
to
then I want
support
the-
the band,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
still kind of
And,
get
and I do
something.
too.
Yeah.
And we'd be happy to buy one to support you guys. Angie would love to have the signed copy of it.
Sure, absolutely.
Artist to artist, though, I hate to admit this because it doesn't benefit me as much as an author. But I am a digital. I gave away all my
Everybody
books and all my
listens
CDs
digitally
and
now.
bought everything
Sure.
just virtually, and I
Yeah.
make like nothing off of those versus
Oh,
if
yeah.
you buy my book. But there's something about keeping up with all that stuff for me. And I was over the
Yeah.
years, I'd be the type that would go, "Hey, I want to listen to my KitchenKillaz CD. Oh shoot, I loaned that to somebody. I must have bought the same CD so many times.
Yeah.
So there's a virtual side of it where I can't lose
Absolutely.
it. But it's
Yeah.
nice that you have the option still for people.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
that was one thing. Like we had actually received a couple of requests to cut vinyls. You know, people wanted a record.
Oh, now that
you
is
know,
cool.
And so
Because vinyls are actually like coming
yeah,
back.
they're kind of coming back. You know,
Yeah.
more and more people are finding it. And the thing with vinyls is, yes, they're vastly more expensive than CDs. So we had to have a promise. We had to already have pre-sales for a certain amount of vinyls. You can't just get one cut.
Yeah.
You know, you can't
Yeah.
do that. Like you have to do it in quantity or it's just insanely expensive.
Sure.
So there has been some interest in it, and we're still kind of looking into it, you know, kind of listening when people say it, but it kind of
Limited edition, maybe?
sits on the back. It sits on the back burner, and we're consistently talking about what are we doing next, where are we going now, how are we evolving, what's our next step, not only with our music but with our technology.
Yeah.
So even Zach Herbal, the producer of the album, and I were talking today about what are we looking at next, what platform are we looking at next, what solutions are we looking at next, how are we integrating software, how are we using technology, how are we using the latest solutions available to us that we can possibly use. I don't know how many times we've gotten comments in so many shows from people that have just joined the show or they've been here for a while and they're like, man, how do you guys not have thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers? Like, what is going on?
Right.
Some people don't understand. Like, it took Maroon 5 12 years before anybody even knew who they were. Vertical
exposure.
Horizon 13 years before anybody even knew who they were.
It's
Yeah.
exposure.
And right
yeah.
now it's so saturated because everybody can do this. Everybody
Yep.
can produce an album. You can do it in your
Yeah.
freaking closet. It's not a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
You can go live and have a band and you can play music. It's not a big deal anymore. So not only do you have to make it through the noise, but you have to rise to the very, very top of it. And you
Yes.
still have to literally run among the titans of entertainment at all times because, like we were talking about before, the attention factor is so
Yeah.
small that if you don't stay moving, stay grooving, stay evolving, stay changing, and stay engaging, they're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone.
It's also, there's a whole other piece of it. You're absolutely right, but there's a whole other piece of it, and that is, and I don't mean to keep referring to the author thing, but it's kind of the same way where no matter how good you are, no matter how long you're going, no matter how much exposure you're getting, sometimes there's also an element of the person that you meet. It's the person that you meet at the right place at the right time that has
Absolutely.
the right
Never
connection.
know.
There's still luck involved in the
There
formula.
absolutely is.
There's
Yeah.
still luck in there.
And in the same way, and I don't mean to disrespect any artist because I hate doing that, but in the same way that books or musicians or bands have come out that maybe haven't been in for the long term, maybe they had a half of a one-hit wonder, and then there's amazing bands that never get discovered. I feel like it's still about that persistence and timing because
Absolutely.
you can have an amazing author, an amazing book that never gets made, and then you can, you know, we've all read movies or read books or seen movies that are like, how did this
Mediocre,
ever
yeah.
get made?
Or yeah.
So I think your persistence
Well, there's
and
a
spreading
bit
your
of
connections out further and further.
Oh, networking
persistence
is
and
yeah.
tenacity, like because it just take one little spark.
Yeah.
And you gotta be there for that. And if you stop before that happens, then you miss it.
Yeah.
You know?
And a spark doesn't always lead to a fire. You
Yeah.
know, some people feel like, oh, if I can just get that one guy in that one place to hear that one song, it's like, yeah, that's a spark. But what are you going to do with that spark?
Exactly.
Once you do,
What are you going to do? Do you have you been in the industry long enough to recognize that that was a spark? And what's the difference between a spark and somebody completely bullshitting you? Because in the entertainment industry, I guarantee you, 99% of the people that you're going to meet are full of shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
It's the way it is. Sorry, guys.
Scams
If you're full of
allowed.
shit out there, you know who you are. And if you're not, I love
we
you.
got a lot of that the very first year that we played.
Oh, my
A
God.
lot of people like, oh, I can get you this and I can do this and you guys are awesome. I'm gonna make sure you're famous. Like,
We had
all
somebody
right.
willing to cut us a check for 6 figures because they loved what we were doing so much, but it didn't make any sense because when we listened to them converse with other people, we realized there's no way in the world you have 6 figures and you're just shining us on.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
literally shining us on.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's I can smell them from a mile away. And
Yeah.
I'll get an email, I'm like, nope, block. And people are like, why? What's going on? I'm like, I've been here before.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know this verbiage. I know this entertainment. I know this attitude. I know this. They just want to feel special for a moment that they made you feel hopeful that they can do something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really what it comes down to. People just want to feel good about it.
So you have the album because you said, you know, there was this demand and people were asking, how can we support you guys? Right. So besides the album, how else, what other things do you have in place for people to support you?
Patreon. So Patreon.
You read my mind.
Patreon is a monthly thing where you can subscribe to a specific tier and contribute a specific amount every month. So maybe $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month, and we give different rewards for different tiers. And a lot of the stuff is just for us. It's $5 a month. We would like everyone to subscribe $5 a month, and you get you get early access to stuff. You get a special show just for the Patreon members.
Cool.
And then as the tiers go up, you get bigger and bigger rewards.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah, and that was something
So
I
you
wanted
guys
to
like cook meals for people, like when they come over to your house. Like,
listen,
what's
Angie.
the reward?
Listen.
Like maybe a house cleaning.
Don't give,
like, I
don't give
know. What
away.
do you-
Don't give away my my moves here. Okay.
Angie's looking at her to-do list.
She's like, wait, do you guys do
Something
toilets?
Go to patreon.com/KitchenKillaz and find out.
Okay, I'm gonna find out.
There was a what you guys had talked about before. We were talking about the natural evolution of your show and how this is evolving, and
Yeah.
and we were thinking, and I actually thought at that moment, I said, man, we took our Wednesday shows. We used to stream live publicly Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we streamed live publicly. And then about 2 months ago, we made our Wednesday show Patreon only. So our Monday show is public. Our Wednesday show is now live to a private Facebook page that you're added to because if you're a Patreon member.
So you can tailor the whole show. It's a whole different show, I would
and
imagine.
so that one is the real one. That one's the one where where the Monday show, the Friday show, we know we have kids watching the show. We know we have 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds watching the show. That's why we always wait until about 9:30 before like the Looney Tune jokes come in. And I say that by like if you go back and watch some old school Looney Tunes as an adult, you'll get the jokes that you never got as a kid.
Of
Right.
course.
I can't believe they just said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually we wait until about after 9:30 before we start kind of pushing the envelope there. But our Wednesday show is fully unfiltered. So that is like we're playing brand new originals that we've never played before. We've playing brand new covers we've never played before. We're taking live requests.
So Angie and I went on and talked to the KitchenKillaz for another hour or so. Always fun to hang out with those guys. But I'm going to cut the podcast short here so we can jump over to the 2 songs they played for us before we wrapped up.
How do I forget about those days that you would walk with me hand in hand through all the pain, and when you held me tight as I scream within my dream, and how you follow me through the darkness and the rain. And won't you hold me tight and never let me go? And won't you follow me and I would follow you, and we could face this day, we'd never be alone. And you can be my queen as you sit upon this throne. Now and then when I'm thinking about those days when we would laugh out loud over candlelight and drinks, and we would cuddle close, I'd protect your soul from flame, and you would comfort me through the night and day by day. And won't you hold me tight and never let me go? And won't you follow me and I would follow you, and we could face this day, we'd never be alone. And you can be my queen as you sit upon this throne. So move a few steps closer to me, baby, if only for the night. Then won't you take my hands in yours and please hold me as we then kiss goodbye. For in my dreams I'll always have you right here with me, but when I wake at night I'll reach into the darkness to remember a time we'd say this love's for life, when I would hold you tight and never let you go, and I would watch you fly and you would watch me flow, and we could face this day, we'd never be alone. And I would be your king as I sat upon this throne, when you would hold me tight and never let me go, and you would watch me fly and I would watch you flow, and we could face that day, we'd never be alone. And you would be my queen as you sit upon this throne.
Yes, very nice. Very nice. Golf clap.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. First time ever. First take. Nailed it.
That was awesome. You guys got time for one more?
Absolutely not, Dan.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much. Go to fineandangie.com.
Who do you think you are? How dare you? Get out of here.
If you too would like to hear one song from the KitchenKillaz, go to
For one time only.
For one time only.
Go to kitchenkillaz.com and you can purchase our album right from the website.
Yes.
You can click on the links and stream it right from Amazon, right from Spotify, right from Apple Music. If you want to purchase a hard copy of The Great Commodore and I can sign it for you and even send it out, the price of the album includes shipping, so don't even worry about it. Absolutely easy. We make it nice and easy for everybody.
It's very inexpensive too. I just looked at it.
Super inexpensive. Yeah, we charge $5 for shipping. It doesn't matter where it goes. Like we've sent stuff to Ireland before.
Yeah, so it's like $12 total, right?
Yeah, $12 total for the album. So
Very
you get 5 songs, and then it covers the album, and then the shipping itself. So we make it nice and easy, and then we'll open it up and sign it. Most people want it signed. Some people don't. They want to keep it closed, so they buy 2. So they buy 2 copies, one for us to sign and one for them to just keep closed.
Very nice.
Which is super cool.
So if you're a member of like Apple Music or Amazon or whatever, you can go listen to it as well.
Right now, absolutely.
Awesome.
And Alexa even knows who we are, so you could ask her to play us, and she'll pop in. So does Siri.
Oh,
Siri
very
knows who we are
nice.
too. We found that out because one of our friends was like, "Oh my god, I asked Alexa to play KitchenKillaz, and it was like, this is Drifts Like Collide by KitchenKillaz." And I was like,
Wow, cool. I'm surprised the one back there hasn't kicked on.
That's why I tried to say it quietly, like I didn't want to get too crazy.
Yeah.
What you want to do, Commodore Drift? You want to do that one? Yeah, we could do that one. Can we play a cover?
Absolutely.
Sure.
My man.
Who's Drift by?
Drifts Like Collide is by us, but this is Blinding Lights by The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when you said do a cover, I thought, I knew Drift Side Collide was by you
that
guys.
song sounds familiar.
Well, Drift Side Collide,
Am I talking?
Collide is by them. Who? The Weeknd does which one?
Blinding Lights.
I don't know that one. I know yours, but I don't know that one. How funny.
What are we playing this one in? Bow, bow, ba-da-da, bow, bow.
There. Something's
this
wrong
one?
with mine. Mine keeps going down.
You got to tighten that up right there.
Sweet. All right. You want to count us in on that one, Commodore? I don't know. Is that a 27 count?
I'm trying to feel it.
Okay, cool. Feel it.
Count 17, ready?
Nailed it. Thank you. Have a good night. We're the KitchenKillaz. Let's do that one again. That'll sound good. I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch, baby. I look around and since city's cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone, you're gone. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. And I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. Hey, hey, hey. I'm running out of time. I can see the sun light up the sky, so I hit the road in overdrive, baby. I look around and since city's cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone, you're gone. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. And I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. I'm just walking by to let you know I can never say it on the phone. I will never let you go this time. And I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights, so I can't sleep until I feel your touch. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. And I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your...
Was that me?
That was fantastic.
That's amazing.
That's a great song. I've never heard that song. That was amazing.
Beautiful,
The
dude.
noise was the chair.
Wah. No, it wasn't. It was the Bartesian.
That was the chair. That was because that was in the first cut.
Too many aviators. Too many aviators. Give me that.
Amazing.
Trying to rub the red chair.
That was the hashtag rub the red chair raw. What
That was it.
again? What was it?
Rub the chair red.
Rub the chair red. That's right. Rub the chair red. That was in the first take. Yeah.
rub it red.
It's totally taking a turn.
I was
rubbing it raw. What's
Man.
going on here?
I think about a year ago, I was chasing the TikTok rabbit, and I heard that part of that song, and I didn't know what it was. I was working from home. I just heard a little part of it. I'm like, man, I love the music in there. Like, let me see if I can learn this song.
So I'm going to ask a silly question because I know who The Weeknd is,
Sure.
but isn't that musical? I didn't know it was. I thought it was a little more like a rap
It
R&B
is.
kind
It
of.
is.
It is, 100%.
I like it like this better though.
I've never heard that song, so that was
So
amazing.
I listened to it. I'm like, man, I really, really like this song. So I always have a guitar with me. I was working from home, so I grabbed the guitar and I was like, man, it's only 4 chords. I'm like, this is fantastic. So I found a safe key and a healthy key, and I was like, man, let me bring this up to the Commodore and see if he wants to play it. And it was the number 1 song of 2020. So I think I started playing it around.
wow.
I think I started playing it around April or May of last year. Brought it to the Commodore, and he's like, man, I really dig this, so we
Yeah, it
played it and we
sounds
released
great.
it. And the Mad Scientist called us immediately after the show, and he's like, listen, you guys release a lot of songs. He goes, you guys crushed this cover. That sounded really, really great.
It really did.
He was like, I've never even heard the song. I'm gonna go listen to it now.
That's me. Yeah,
Yeah, it was really
exactly.
good.
Wow.
Well, that's the first thing I'm going to do after you guys leave. I'm going to listen to the original.
Don't bother.
It's,
Don't bother.
It sounds much better.
it really is very beautiful.
I bet.
Like it's
Much
a
better.
great song. It's really well written. The music video is really emotional. Like it's really good. The Weeknd killed it. The name of the album is called After Hours. It's really good. He's got
The
some.
whole album's really
The
good.
whole album's
Yeah.
really good.
He's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
he
musician.
kills it, man.
I did read about him because he did a thing where he did like the fake surgery
Yes.
to.
Yeah, so he was in the halftime. He did the halftime show. He did the fake surgery to show the entertainment industry, et cetera, and then like he showed the what Botox would do
story.
to somebody.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
super powerful statement. Did you see that? Where he like came
He
out
showed
with
it to me.
bandages on,
Yeah.
and then like 3 months later, whatever, he came out with like prosthetics. Everybody was like commenting online about what did he do to himself, and it was all fake.
It was all just
Yeah.
to
Very
show
clever.
how caught up
It
we
was
are
a
in that.
statement.
It was a
definitely-
it was a
statement
powerful
about the
statement.
entertainment industry,
Yeah.
and it was really, really interesting. Like
Yeah.
I really like what he did there, and some people didn't get it.
Yeah.
And they looked at it the other way, and they believed absolutely everything, and they were like, "Why would you do that?" And
So many people.
so many
So many people.
believed it 100%. And like, dude, you missed the whole point of this
Even
message.
though now he looks just like he did before.
Of course.
It was
Come on,
totally
100%.
normal. It was
100%.
it was a highbrow kind of thing to do.
It was.
honestly.
It really was,
Yeah.
especially to do it at the halftime show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the biggest stage of all stages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible. And he did that. That takes a lot of courage.
Agree.
A lot. And because you have to run the gambit that people are not going to interpret it correctly.
Yeah.
And you're going to be misunderstood.
I think he might have wanted that. For
I think
some
so
people,
too.
honestly.
To show people, like, look what your
And
misunderstanding did
it
to yourself.
accentuates the point, doesn't it?
That's exactly what it does. It backs it up 100%.
Totally does. Well, guys,
Oh,
thanks so
good
much for coming
save.
out once again.
Dude, thanks for having us, man.
Really appreciate it.
I love
you
the
guys
red
are great.
chairs.
And I know you do. Yes,
So
we're gonna have to. We're having to get that trending.
If you're missing one, don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's next to the patio furniture I just bought you.
It's fine. Billy, this looks a lot like the red chair we're missing.
I don't know what you're talking about,
not
man.
it.
I get this from Walmart.
This is more of like a burgundy. Yours was like a wine red.
Yeah, totally different. Totally different. Billy, I see the space that you rubbed
Seriously.
a hole in the chair when you were at the house.
Yeah, yours were a lot softer. This one's it's not
This is
soft.
garbage. This is garbage. This is garbage.
Well, all right. We're gonna wrap, guys. If you enjoyed the show, please rate,
Give a
review.
rating.
Rave me.
I was waiting for it. Rate, review, or subscribe, whichever you prefer.
Do all the things.
Do all of
Do
it.
all
Do
the
all of them.
things.
It's 2021.
If you
Like us. Do all that. Jazz.
Yeah, and if you want to be a guest on the show, if you know someone that might be a good guest on the show, give us a call at 407-490-3899. After 118 episodes, I'm still reading that number. Or you can email us at feedback@fineanddangy.com or find us on all our social media at fineanddangy.com.
I feel like we've
Nice.
done this before.
We have done this before.
It sounds familiar.
It is
really
very
does.
familiar. And at the end of the day,
It's all
Fine
fine
and
and dangy. I beat you to it. We already had it before.
You could have stopped at I beat you.
That one was bad.
It's all fine and dangy.
we didn't get the trending hashtag. Yeah, I gotta hear that song. That's a good song.
It's really good, man. He kills it.
I do like it.
Thank you.
I like.
Give us a gap. Give me a
if
little
I'm
gap. Yeah, give me a little gap.
Am I allowed?
A little gap. Longer gap. No, I'm just
I swear to God.
Not yet.
Stop it.
Wait.
No, it's not happening again.
Wait.
No. I have something to say, and I'm going to say it.
kidding. Okay, ready? Go.
So I was going to say,
Go.
but
Go ahead.
we're going to fight. We're gonna
The thing is, Dan, she's closer to the door than you, and you can't get out.
This is right.
I'm sweating. All right.